right, we'll have some fun and games later. We'll hang out and do our thing, but it's time for Tampa Bay news. As I saw last night that Jeffry Knight, that's how you say his name. There's no R-E-Y, it's R-Y, Jeffry Knight. As I saw, he was charged last night. And I'm going to play all the clips because I want to hear how the different news sites, being FLA, being Fox 13, and ABC Action News, I want to see how they reported on it because some of these news anchors and some of these radio hosts in Tampa are friends with Jeffry Knight. Some of these people out here are afraid to burn a bridge with Janice Live. They're told, don't say anything. Don't piss off Jeffry Knight. I don't care. I met the guy one time when I did a boxing match for Cowhead. And he was not a very nice man. I was trying to remember where I saw him, and he's just a freaking mutant. He's got a little Napoleon complex, just walks around. Dude, I know you know who I am, because in your public statement, you said you weren't going to say anything because of vicious attacks online. But the thing is, nobody in the Tampa Bay media was attacking you but me. So if you're listening to my words, I know so much about you, Jeffry Knight. But I'm afraid of that thing called a lawsuit. That's what brought Bubba to Love Sponge down. And I love Bubba. But that's what hurt him was all the lawsuits. I've had so many of your former coworkers and so many of your current coworkers reach out to me and say, man, you said everything we were thinking about our boss. How does that make you feel, Jeffry Knight? To know that people despise you so much that I know juicy details. I know things that I should not know. But because of libel and because of slander, I'm going to hold it back. But whatever you think I don't know, Jeffry Knight, I know. Let's see what ABC Action News said last night.
Charges filed after months of investigation. The man seen taking off from this deadly Clearwater Ferry crash has been arrested.
The man, he's not just a man, he's a local millionaire.
FWC arresting 62-year-old Jeffry Knight on several felony counts.
He looks every bit like he's 62, just like he's laid in the sun for the last 40 years. Totally not doing cocaine and shrooms. Because we all know that he is a sober man. He doesn't drink because he blew 0000 on his FWC test. So he doesn't ever have to, do a drug test. Because we know if we did a mushroom test, there would be no mushrooms in Jeffry Knight's body. Because he never does that.
For crashing into the ferry and taking off. That crash killed one man and left 10 others injured. Investigators later that night found his boat at the Bel Air Causeway boat ramp, but no arrests. That was until tonight.
Can you imagine if I did that? If I was hanging out, doing some mushrooms. Oh, wait, that's right. Jeffry Knight doesn't do that. And I hit Jeffry Knight. I would be arrested. I would be crucified by the local media. But when the millionaire who owns a cable company, when the millionaire who doesn't get talked about on the local news until there's arrests because people don't want to lose their inside info, when he does it, he's protected. Man, funk that.
For months, many, including the family of 41-year-old Jose Castro, who lost his life in that crash, have been calling for consequences.
He's leaving his 2 girls.
Yeah, can you imagine if this nice Hispanic family hit Jeffry?
I want this person responsible to pay for what he did, taking my brother's life.
New tonight, we have a message from that family who's been waiting for accountability since their loved one died. Reporter Annette Gutierrez joining us now.
What up, baby?
With what they had to say. Annette.
And his family responded, sharing a statement with ABC Action News, saying they are still grieving, but this is, quote, one step closer to accountability. And
the problem is he's got money and he'll probably get away with it. They were showing a video of him leaving the police station last night and he was waving everybody like he would have been a perfect politician because he's a scumbag.
Justice. On April 27th, one family's life changed forever when a private boat crashed into a Clearwater ferry, killing Jose Castro.
We are destroyed. My mom is destroyed. We didn't deserve my brother take away his life like that.
Of the 45 people on board the ferry, one person died and several others were seriously injured. And now, Jeffry Knight finds himself at the center of the investigation.
Why did it take 3 months? You know they were trying to do everything they could behind the scenes to protect their own.
And could be facing some serious consequences.
Unfortunately, even though he's facing 8 felonies, nothing's going to happen to him. He's protected. Mike Cal just shoves a woman to the ground. You got all these crimes that get committed in this area. But the rich always win.
I'm shocked that it's happening this quickly.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission announced his arrest Monday night, saying he is facing 8 counts of felony charges, including leaving the scene of a boating accident.
Yeah, if you had nothing to hide, why'd you leave? Jeffry Knight. You're so stupid. The way your name is spelled looks like it's a misspell. Jeffry. You notice how like people that have the stupidest names always have the stupidest faces?
Involving death and serious injury. In a statement, his family says, quote, they continue to grieve an unimaginable loss. While no legal proceedings can undo the heartbreak we've suffered, today's charges represent a step toward accountability and justice. They add on to say they hope this case will deter people from acting recklessly on the water.
Yeah. Because we all know he blew a 0.000. And if you blow that with the FWC alcohol level of 0%, you don't have to be tested for mushrooms. Why am I playing the mushroom sound effect? Why would I do that? He was so sober. I'm having way too much fun with this scumbag.
Knight owns several businesses, including Janice Live in downtown St. Pete.
No, his son does now, honey.
On April 30th, we learned he stepped down from his role there.
But his son runs it, so it's like the second coming of him owns it. It's not like he lost it.
In the following days, victims called for justice, announcing the first lawsuit against Knight on May 7th.
All right, so there is ABC Action News. Let's see what FLA said.
Well, the operator of the boat involved in April's deadly Clearwater Ferry crash is now being criminally charged. Jeffry Knight, the former owner of Janice Live.
God, he's such a freaking mutant. They're showing the footage of him leaving the police station. He's just waving at everybody. You might as well have some babies there and have him kiss babies. He's just playing his total millionaire scumbag move. Jeffry Knight. You might be able to pull it off on everyone else. Oh, wait, that's right. You don't. You just get away with things because of money. You know how many of your coworkers can't stand you? When you look yourself in a mirror, which is barely over the sink because you're so short, you need to realize that you're a phony, a fraud, and a loser. And you totally are sober.
Bonded out of jail overnight. And on your side is Beth Rousseau, live at the Pinellas County Courthouse.
What up, baby?
With a closer look now at the charges that he is facing. Good morning, Beth.
Hey, good morning. So Jeffry Knight facing several felony charges for...
Shout out to these reporters for not sweating on the scene. If I was a TV reporter, especially a hot babe, I'd be all sweaty.
Leaving the scene of a boating accident that resulted in death or serious bodily injury. This morning, we're working to learn when Knight is going to make his first appearance before a judge here at the Pinellas County Courthouse.
This is video of Jeffry Knight avoiding our crew's questions and staying silent while...
There he is, waving at the cops, hiding. You know, his lawyer was like, ignore the online comments. We will pay this off.
Out of jail for 8 felony counts of leaving the scene of a boating accident involving death or serious bodily injury.
Mr. Knight, do you have any response to the charges filed against you?
Officers with
the little wimps looking at the ground.
Florida Fish and Wildlife say Knight was behind the wheel of the boat that crashed into a Clearwater ferry back in April, killing Jose Castro and injuring several others.
Yeah, let's not forget. I don't care how much entertainment he's provided with his cable service. I don't care how much entertainment he's provided in other ways.
Do you have any message for Jose Castro's family?
I do.
His arrest comes after the ferry's insurance company filed a complaint earlier this month. The court document says the ferry had a $1 million insurance policy through Atlantic Specialty Insurance Company. An attorney unaffiliated with this case says what they filed is called an interpleader.
How do you put a price on someone's life? The insurance company is saying, we don't want to do that. We're going to let the court find someone, and that person's going to have to do it.
The attorney representing
the insurance company's not wanting to do any work, but we have to pay them a lot of money. Man, funk that.
Castro's family sent a statement to Aid on Your Side saying in part, this is a deeply painful time for our family who continue to grieve an unimaginable loss, while no legal proceeding can undo the heartbreak.
So we heard that on the previous news clip. Let's see what Fox 13 said. Oh, yeah, they got the BDE over there.
It's up here at 11, 3 months after that deadly Clearwater Ferry crash. Florida Fish and Wildlife have made an arrest. They announced just hours ago that they've arrested Jeffry Knight for 8 felonies and some.
The charge should be being in a room with the victim's family for 10 minutes.
Other charges. Now, remember, in that crash, 1 person was killed and several others injured when Knight's boat crashed into the ferry back in April. Fox 13's Jennifer Viglas is in our newsroom now with more on these latest developments. Jennifer, what do we know?
Yeah, hey, Chris, this crash.
God, that Jennifer girl is beautiful.
Forever changed the lives of so many people, including the family of the man killed, 41-year-old Jose Castro, who's a father of 2. Tonight, the family tells us they just found out about this arrest and are still processing everything.
It's a surveillance video clip that left our community stunned on the night of April 27th near the Memorial Causeway Bridge.
And we saw in the surveillance video that, he goes forward and back. And
he was sober, though, because he blew 0-0 on his alcohol FWC test. He had nothing else in his body. Then he's just a terrible boat driver if he was sober.
Frees himself from the vessel.
Well-known businessman Jeffry Knight,
freaking mutant,
was behind the wheel of a 37-foot recreational boat.
You know when you see somebody's face, especially if they're like a Floridian, and they just have like big slap face? Jeffry Knight just like, God, you're a scumbag.
With 6 people on board when he collided into the Clearwater Ferry with 44 people on board. 1 person on the ferry died. Another 10 left with injuries. 2, including a teacher, filed lawsuits claiming Knight operated the boat carelessly.
Duh!
Investigators say Knight left the scene and was located further south at the Bel Air boat ramp.
He left the scene of that crash and drove past.
But I thought you had nothing to hide. I heard a rumor. One of the 9 rumors I heard, and the other 8 I can't say. I heard a rumor that he was hiding in Costa Rica.
Other boats, other law enforcement vessels that were coming to the scene.
At the time, he told investigators he had tried to stay to help passengers, but his boat began to take on water, and he had to leave.
As the story played out, as the people on his boat started to talk to the state attorney's office, when we hear the 911 calls and we see the investigation, the truth is starting to come out, and the truth is different than what Jeff Knight really portrayed it to be.
You're telling me a sociopathic millionaire lies? No way! He seems like such a trustworthy guy.
In June, we told you about an electronic data search warrant from FWC that revealed passengers on Knight's boat told investigators that Knight panicked, saying, quote,
"Yeah, he did, because he was sober. He had nothing to panic about. He wasn't on shrooms or anything else."
"My life is over. I'm going to lose everything."
Good. You've treated everybody like garbage. I've heard so much crap about you. Everybody's afraid of you. I ain't afraid of you. You're a little bitch.
And tried to get them to stop calling 911, saying things like, quote, "Don't say anything," and hang up.
So we see really facts that Jeff Knight was more concerned with his own well-being than the well-being of individuals on that boat.
He's not a good guy. And I can imagine his son's a freaking douche, too.
Many of whom were seriously injured, and one of whom was killed.
All things criminal defense attorney Anthony Rickman, who is not affiliated with this case, says were used as evidence in this investigation.
So we see that his boat wasn't sinking, that witnesses on the boat said that they weren't taking on water.
FWC says through its investigation, in addition to the Coast Guard's, it has been determined Knight willingly left the scene of the crash and headed south towards his home before a Pinellas County Sheriff's Office boat stopped him.
Knight faces 8 counts of felony leaving the scene of a boat crash involving death or serious injury. FWC says additional misdemeanor charges are set to be filed with the state attorney's office that'll include things like failure to maintain a safe speed and failure to maintain a proper lookout, resulting in a fatal boating accident.
Yeah, but he was sober. He wasn't doing anything. Jeffry Knight, I can't stand you. You represent everything that's terrible about the boomer generation. I hope you get brought down. But as we know, this area protects its own.